The same goes for you. Stop trying to become a likable person. Hello, this is Interesting Story. You will succeed. Today, I want to share something fundamental you must have to succeed. I hope you follow along until the end. Where are you watching this video right now? On the subway, bus, taxi, while driving, at home, or at work? It doesn't matter where you are. There's no better day to hear this content than today. Today, I will bring insights from Schopenhauer Read at 40 by Kang Yong-soo and add my own thoughts. Now, I want to talk about the mindset you need to live each day. From today, we're going to bring the weight of life from the outside to the inside. Let me repeat that. We will bring the weight of life from the outside to the inside. Yes, starting today. We should first talk about turning 40. You are probably living somewhere near or just past 40, or maybe you haven't reached it yet. It doesn't matter what age you are. Whether you imagine your future at 40 or reflect on your past, just listen to this content. 40 is special in many ways. In your 20s, you accumulate knowledge and experience, living almost like a racehorse with a narrow view. Then, in your 30s, you're busy with work and relationships, and you're probably overwhelmed. It must have been intense. After going through many trials, you reach a time when your life is starting to stabilize, and that's around 40. For me, 40 is even more special because I have completely turned my life in the opposite direction and am living a completely different life. Recently, I had a conversation with Anita Mojani from the US, and she said something that left a deep impression on me. You don't need to experience clinical trials to live a second life. You're already living a second life, as if you've died and been reborn. Life is often compared to the 4 seasons. If we divide it into 4 seasons, your 40s would be like late summer turning into early autumn. This time in life fits perfectly with where we are now. It's when you're expected to bear fruit. Some of you may already be feeling proud of what you've achieved, while others might feel that life is still unfolding and wonder if it will be full of repetition. 40 can be a time when we start to feel that most things have become too familiar, and life has lost its excitement. But you know what? If you're truly living your life as you want, then life must first become enjoyable from the inside. As we begin to prepare for the second half of our lives, there is a shift in perspective. When we were younger, we didn't have much wisdom, but we had reckless courage. Now, after going through that phase, our perspective becomes broader and deeper. They say it takes at least 40 years to be able to judge situations and use them as nourishment. Personally, I think that after 40, we're really writing the body of our life's story. If the first 40 years were spent gathering materials and writing the prologue, now is when the real story begins. From now on, you need the courage to live authentically. At this time, Schopenhauer's philosophy is especially useful. Schopenhauer doesn't really comfort us. He's more like a philosopher who delivers brutal truths. But in the end, the essence of his message is simple. Seek happiness within, not from the outside. According to Schopenhauer, the reason we are unhappy is that we rely too much on others. And this is really true. However, many people will find this difficult to do. Listening is just listening. If you don't truly commit, things will stay the same. Today, I want to talk about this point with Schopenhauer's words, and I hope it resonates deeply with you. Schopenhauer divides the world into 4 stages, comparing humans to other beings. The first stage is inanimate objects like stones, which exist but have no characteristics. The second stage is plants. They seem to bloom anew every year, but their characteristics are all quite similar. The third stage is animals, driven by impulses and instincts, and they tend to live in groups. The fourth stage is humans, where individual traits and personalities stand out more clearly. Do you notice anything? At the lower stages, common traits are more apparent. For example, flowers of the same species look the same and even move the same way in the wind. That is, the similarities within a species are complete. Animals, compared to plants, have fewer similarities with other species, and humans, as the highest stage, show the greatest differences between individuals. According to Schopenhauer, only humans can truly find their own color and live uniquely. But if you don't think about this or care about it, you'll feel empty. In every area of life, you'll feel a sense of lack, and eventually, you will depend on others of your own kind for hope. You should exist in your own individuality, but because you don't understand what makes you different from plants or animals, you rely on the eyes of others. Through the eyes of others, you may appear narrow, prejudiced, or selfish. These people are living simply to see themselves reflected in a distorted mirror. But we all know that real happiness comes when we do what we want, not what others tell us. The most human thing we can do is understand our own desires. In other words, you must know what you want to live the way you want. Schopenhauer says that the world is divided into two realms, the subjective and the objective. The objective realm is the world as it truly exists, while the subjective realm is how we see it through our own filters. For example, when you stand in front of a mirror, you look great, which is an objective fact. But if your subjective filter is negative, your perception of yourself will be distorted. I've talked about this a lot before. The world you live in depends on your own worldview. If your character and perspectives are poor, the world will feel dull or flawed. But if your thoughts are rich, your world will become interesting and meaningful. What does it mean to have no desire? It means you consider the world to be dull. People are naturally inclined to seek pleasure, feel good, and pursue things that stimulate them. So, lacking desire means you're looking at the world through a lens that lacks perspective or thought. Some of you might feel discouraged about this, but that's okay, because you can develop these qualities. As I said at the beginning, 40 is the time when we begin to write the body of our lives. Without a clear perspective or thoughts, we can't write the body of our story. Now is the time to ask yourself, through reading and reflection, what you truly want. Through continuous questioning, you can discover your own perspective and individuality, preparing for the second half of your life. This is the stage when you no longer judge others or allow others to judge you. Of course, others will judge you based on their perspective and individuality. In your youth, you may have compared yourself to others, but now it's time to stop worrying about others' opinions. When you try to live according to the opinions of others, everything becomes unnatural. If you don't have your own unique essence, both you and others will feel that you're wasting your time. Starting today, stop trying to be a likable person. This doesn't mean you should live with an "I don't care" attitude. Instead, stop worrying about how to make those around you like you. The important thing is to think about your own innate nature. This is the process of building self-esteem. Yes, within your temperament lies your path. If you don't understand your temperament and are still in a dark tunnel, you need to constantly ask yourself, who am I? Simply continuing to live without understanding yourself will only keep you trapped in conflict and indecision. From now on, you need to know exactly what you desire and what you're capable of. Then you must work to align these two things. Your capabilities are often undervalued, but you must realize that there are no limits. Schopenhauer says, "The fish must be in the water, the bird must be in the air, and the mole must be underground to be happy." From now on, make sure you use your unique traits to your advantage. Focus only on activities that align with your individuality, and avoid those that don't. Ignorance about your own individuality, not knowing what you want or who you are, leads to all unhappiness. It's truly tragic when someone in their 20s or 30s passes away before they've even started to live the life that aligns with their unique traits. When someone hasn't even started writing the body of their story, it's heartbreaking. Once you're over 40, think differently. Live with the mindset that it's okay to go anytime and express your individuality. You must live authentically. Only then can you truly live well. Focus on maintaining a healthy body and mind and deeply explore your natural temperament. That's the way to move forward. Your mood today is shaped by your health today. Then, I will continue the story in the next episode. Subscriptions and like notification settings are a great help. Thanks.